Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Let me set up this room real quick and then we can get started. We got some crazy market movement during the London session. I mean, it makes sense after Biden went into House, he started implementing all these new laws. So we'll keep watching the market. We'll see how everything reacts to everything at this point. US 30 just opens, moving pretty crazy. See how everything else is playing out as well. All right, let me finish setting up this room real quick. We got this set up here. Yeah, if you guys are looking at my screen right now, I took a little scalp here for US 30. It's nothing too crazy. It's just 500 pips. It's this new strategy I've been working on. It's been pretty profitable overall, so decided I might try it out on open, see if it plays out right, but we'll see. Yeah, it's a crazy market movement right now. I mean, it's not that crazy. It's moving up about like a couple hundred pips per second. Let me finish setting this up real quick. Good for the most part. Let me go ahead and send this link out and then we can get started. Get this open over here. Hey, morning, Alkin. Morning, Larisha. Morning, Cameron. Morning, Peter. Morning, Indra. Morning, buddy. Yeah, let me go check this out real quick. So Indra's asking if I'm still in your USD. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, mine didn't get stopped out. I'm still in the trade. So like you can see my position still active right here. I guess it spiked up over London session, but then I don't know if that spiked up for everyone or if it was just like on TradingView, but I'm in the trade. I thought I got stopped out, but I'm still in the trade. So I'm not sure if you're still in Indra, but I'm technically still in it. I don't know what happened during the London session. It looks like there were some pretty big spikes during that time. So I'm not sure if there was news or anything else that affected the market, but let me check the news real quick. Yesterday was, I mean, it looks like there was some news in the morning, some Euro news at 4:45, some Euro USD news 5:30. So that might have spiked price, but I mean, I'm still in the trade. I don't know what happened. I don't know if people got stopped out or if other people didn't, but I'm technically still in the trade. So let me go ahead and take a look at everything else real quick. Let me post these links so that everyone else could join the room, and then we can get started. Let's see. CNBC just said S&P 500 flat as markets rally to record pause. Could see that. All right, so let me just send out this link real quick to everyone so we can get everyone in the room, and then we can get started. Let's see. Hey, morning, Varun. Morning, Cass. Indra said, I'm out just now. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that position, Indra, because I'm still in it. I thought I got stopped, but I guess I didn't, thankfully. But I mean, I think it might be a broker side issue. It seems like, well, I didn't hear anyone else get stopped out, so I'm not sure if it was just me or just you or anyone else, but we'll see. So I'm in this scalp right here for US 30. I'll probably show you guys the strategy a little later. I've been using it. It works really good with US 30 and GJ on the 30-minute. I've been hitting a lot of profit. So I might start calling signals with this. I don't know if I'm going to show you guys the strategy because it's a little subjective. Just don't want people to be making mistakes. Let me see if I'm missing anything else here. All right, let me send this on the Facebook real quick, even though nobody even goes on the Facebook. I'm just going to post it there anyways. And then I'm going to post it on the email as well. So let me just get this posted real quick, guys. Copy this link. And the internet's like really slow today. Post this link in here. And then let me send this out as well. So let's see, we got this right here. I don't know if you guys have noticed, like the market has just been like kind of whipsawing a lot this whole week. So that's why we've been kind of careful with our positions. I'm not calling like too many to prevent us getting caught in these little whipsaw moves. I'm selling this US 30 scalp right here. Let me check my position. I'm currently around break even. So, or no, I'm actually like slightly negative. Keeps bouncing around really quick. Right, so I got it on there real quick. Let me post this over here. In the Instagram real quick. All right, so we got this right here. Let me post this on the K² Instagram. Nice. Man, the US 30 is crazy, guys. I'm watching it right here. It keeps dropping back into profit and it swings right back up. But I think it'll swing back down. Like it's a strategy where I just, for US 30, I only scalp like maybe 500 pips, but the success rate's like crazy. So I'll probably show you guys like what I do. I might not teach it because I think it might be something that I want to keep to myself for a bit. All right, let me get this on the Instagram real quick. All right, I think it's on Instagram, so it should be good. Let me go ahead and check this out real quick. All right, let me check this over here. Good morning, Joey. And look at GU. So I'm looking at everything you guys are asking for here, and then I'm going to continue on. So let's see. Indrons, GBP, USD. Yeah, Joey got stopped at EU too. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know, because my EU, like, I look at it right here. I'm still in the position. Like, I thought I got stopped out, but my position's still active right here. I'm still like in some slight drawdown. Not like, it's not bad, but I'm still in the position. So I don't know if it was a broker side where like some people got stopped out, some people did it depending on their spread. But I'm still in the trade technically, thankfully, I guess. So I'll still follow it, but I guess we'll count this as a loss because it looks like it did hit stop loss like barely, and then it came back down. So we'll count this as a loss, but my position is still technically active. All right, let me, and my screen's all covered right now. All right, yeah, so I have a different chart here now, guys. You guys can see up here, this is just for scalping. So you can see this whole setup here is just for scalping because I'm only scalping US 30 and GJ right here, and it's been super profitable. So I'll probably show you guys what I'm looking at when I take these trades, but I'm not sure if I'm going to teach it because it's a subjective strategy. So, I mean, it's not really that subjective, but I'll probably teach it to just like the more advanced K2 students because I don't want you guys to make mistakes, taking the strategy. It's very profitable, but you have to actually know what you're doing. So, and it's very quick. It's not like, you can't take your time taking these trades. Like when you see an entry, you got to take it right away. So go ahead and just check out the rest of the chart real quick before we continue on. And I'm gonna add these to the list. Hope said, good morning, Shawn. Yeah, morning, Hope. Morning, Victor. Morning, Slava. Morning, Mosina. Morning, Dennis. Morning, Hamizan. Morning, Matt. Morning, everybody. So let me, morning, Active. Let me see what else we got over here before we continue on. Let's see. So I had a couple questions here. If I missed something. Yeah, definitely, Chelsea. Me too. Chelsea said praying for a full TP today. Yeah, no, exactly. Me too. Let me see what the last signal was. The thing is, I have so many windows open now that it's kind of hard for me to follow. So the last signal was a sell, I believe, right? Let me go ahead and check this right here. Yeah, 630 is right here. So the last signal was a sell. So the next one's got to be a buy. So I'll be waiting for that. Let me turn on my alert here, just so that we can know when that signal comes. We'll continue going down over here real quick. Just want to make sure I don't miss any other questions here before we Peter said teach us, bro. So we put 100 lots and make millions. Yeah, dude, like I've been back testing that new scalping strategy, Peter, and it's been crazy, bro. Like for example here, let me just show you. I'll show you on GJ. GJ is even crazier because it's on the 30 minutes, so you can lock in more pips. I think GJ is a little safer, but let me just show you guys what I mean by that. So like, for example, here, okay, so like for this right here. So basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking for price rejections off the two pivots, right? Because price usually when it rejects off it, it has a like strong momentum off it. So like right here, there's like two confirmations. You need a wick off the K2 pivot. Also, you need a rejection off the K2SR level. So it's like a double confluence confirmation. So like for example here, we have GJ, we have the rejection right here to full wick, no body within the pivot. It also rejects off the K2SR. So it's like a double confluence for strong rejection. So that will give you confirmation that price is, likely to shoot up. So at that point right there, I would enter a long position right here for about 35 pips, decent scalp. I mean, this could even be like a normal move, a small move right here, 35 pips. And then what do you know, full TP. See, it's like as easy as that. I've been taking these trades and it's been like profitable for me. So it's kind of like I've been a little quiet in chat, guys, because I've been over here making money using the strategy. It's a scalping strategy, so it takes a lot of time. Like you have to be focused. I mean, it's similar for US 30. So for example, here, price rejected off this structure, or it rejected off the pivot, plus it rejected off the structure. So I'm anticipating a momentum swing, downwards, obviously at a full TP. But the problem with this right here was that I took it on the market open. So there was some market manipulation as, we got close to market open, that, we're into the new session. It's moving pretty nicely. So this is like what I was applying right here. Actually, I had a win last night. So let me see if I can find the example for last night's. So I actually took this trade last night before I went to bed. It was like, where's it at? It was this one right here. Okay, so let me rewind to this one right here. And then K2SR. Which one was it? It was this one right here. Okay, so we had a rejection off the K2 pivot right here, and then it also rejected off the K2SR right there. No body within the pivot. So like, for example, right here, price rejected off the pivot. It also rejected off the K2SR zone right there. So I entered a long position right here for about, I think, 500 pips. It's like a small scalp. It's nothing too crazy. Small scalp right there, 500 pips. And then, ended up hitting right there. So it's a pretty cool strategy and it works really nicely. It's like strongly based off momentum. And I just been applying it, guys. Like I get a wick body like right here. And then if it's off like a SR level as well, like that's another full TP right there. Another one right here, right next to it. Another one right here. These are like, let's see how many, 3 back-to-back, 4 back-to-back. 5 back-to-back as well. So it's been pretty good. I just been doing a lot of testing and this is probably one that there we go. See, I'm about to hit full TP. Let's go. So if I show you guys my MT4 over here, so I'll show you guys it's a real trade. I actually took it. I'm up 300 something right here, right? This is my live account. This is my FTMO funded account. I'm up 320. I actually took that trade. So I've been taking these trades, guys. I've been making money off this. Maybe I'll show you guys. Or, I mean, you guys already saw what I did, right? It's really simple. It's not that difficult. It's just, I don't really like teaching scalping strategies because a lot of people just get too addicted to it. But it looks good so far. It's about to hit TP. So, all right, let me, enough of that. Let me go ahead and see what else we got over here as we continue forward. So let me just delete this. So like for GJ over here, I'm waiting for another entry. So we had, let me just turn on the SR zones. So yeah, I'm waiting for price to either, come down here to test this area. Cause like what could happen here is price could come down from this point, test the structure, test the pivot, and then shoot right back up. I'll take that buy. But it's kind of what I'm waiting for here. Go back to my US 30 position. I kind of want to get out of this position already because it's like, look at these crazy wicks right here. It's been like moving a little nuts. So let me see if there's anything else here to look over before we continue. Let's see, so we got enter for GU. We got let's see. Victor said US 30 full TP today. I'm hungry for it. Exactly, me too, bro. Short scene wants gold. Anything else here? Hey David, how's it going, bro? Morning. Morning, skills straight. Varun said 71% people are short. So let me go check out the IG sentiment real quick. See, and this is why I kind of like the scalping for US 30, because the cool thing with this is like I get to get in and out of these trades pretty quickly. I don't have to hold on to them for too long. And the risk isn't that crazy. You know, it's like 500 pips. So if you're using, yeah, right here, the sentiment for US 30 is 71% short. So that's a lot of people short. For this right here, it's fine because I'm only scalping, right? I'm not going for those big moves. I'm taking a small short, which is fine because that's normally the movement that's available there. Because we're not holding it for like, 1,500 pips. I'm only holding it for like 500 pips right here. So I'm just going to wait and see how this plays out. It's only 646. Volatility is still kind of low. It should move around a bit or maybe spike for a second or so. Let me see if there's any other zones here. Oh, there's a ton of zones right here. I could probably enter another position. So this is a whole zoned area right here. Oh yeah, if this closes right here, I'll probably add on another sell and then ride this thing down because we have the rejection off the pivots. We have the rejection off the zone right here. This would actually be a nice entry. So maybe I'm gonna enter a second one. So let me let's see. I got about 3 minutes on this candle. I'm just gonna get the sell button ready, and I'm probably gonna take another sell right here. All right, I got the chart window open. And I'm still getting used to this MT4 thing. I'm trying to figure out how to delete this stuff. I got about 2 minutes left on this. I have my window open over here. I'm gonna enter another sell. If it closes below that area right there. So this is just me live scalping, guys. I have one position currently active, pretty deep in profit. I'm about to open a second one right now if this closes below here. So I'm just stacking on these positions real quick. So I got about 2 minutes left. Let me check the chat again real quick before I move on. Let's see. Morning, Nazareth. Morning, Alwis. Morning, Vishnu. Morning, John. Morning, everybody. Varun's asking what time frame we have to draw the zones. 3 min US 30. I'm on the 10-minute right here, Varun. So I'm doing this on the 10-minute. And then for GJ, I have it on the 30-minute over here as well. So I scalp on the 10-minute because there's a lot of noise on the shorter time frames. I mean, you can technically do it on the shorter time frames, but I'm trying to just get in and out of these trades with like decent movement because I don't want to get caught in any whipsaws or any like any noise in the market. Because I think if you go lower than 10-minute, you get a lot of noise. Like if you go on the 5-minute, 3-minute, or 1 minute, there's a lot of noise on there. Obviously, you'll get more positions, but you also have more risk because you can be getting into a lot of fake outs. Hey, trial morning. John. Oh yeah, okay, Varun. Yeah. So 10-minute for US 30, and then and I just draw the zones on the 10-minute as well. And then same for GJ over here. I have it on the 30-minute. So I'm just waiting for this to close right here. I might enter another sell position. Let's see. 50 seconds left. I'm going to enter a second sell scalp right here. Let me get this real quick. We got 40 seconds left. I'm just waiting for it to close. Once it closes, I'll be in this position and then I'll pretty much just ride it. Got about 30 seconds left. Just waiting for it, just being patient. All right, let's see, almost there. This is actually pretty, because the volatility is super high during US session, it's easy to get in and out of trades really quick. So we got about 10 seconds. I'm gonna enter this market sell as soon as it closes. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. All right, I'm already in the trade. Cool. So I'm in the trade. I got 2 positions now running for US 30. Let me see. So I want to make sure everything is pretty solid. Yeah, all right, cool. So my entry for this was 31064. 31064. I'm just gonna put in my parameters over here real quick. Stop loss TP, stop loss is at 31114. And then I got another one over here for 31014 GP. All right, cool. So I'll show you guys my MT4 real quick. So you guys can see I took 2 active positions right now on my MT4. I'm currently 250 in profit on one, slightly negative on the other one that I just entered right now, but I think it's going to come back down. So I'll give you guys a little updates as it's going along, but this is pretty much what I got going on over here. So I entered right here. So I have 2 staggered positions right now. I have this one down here, and then I have another one right over here. There we go. Yeah, so I got 2 scalp positions running for US 30 right now, and then we're still going to be waiting for that buy signal anyways for the next entry. So we'll see how far that goes down. Let me see where price currently is. Yeah, I just need to drop like 500 pips and I'll be good. Let's get my little scalp in, and then I'll be I'll be good to go. So there's my profit right there. I'm in profit for my first position, 240. I'm in break even for my second position. Now I'm in profit for both. I'm in profit 330 for those 2 positions right there. There we go. Okay, I'm $500 in profit. Yeah, it's starting to drop. So maybe I'll teach this to the more advanced K2 students, obviously. But like I mentioned, it's kind of subjective. So here we go. I'm about to hit full TP on one, and then the other one's dropping as well. I'm in profit about 500. That's not bad. So you guys saw me take those trades live with you guys. So you guys see how it works. Super simple. But yeah, I'm not going to keep looking at it. I'll watch it in a little bit. So let's see if there's anything else over here. All right. So Cameron wants me to take a look at Bitcoin. So I'm gonna call these questions out real quick to make sure that I'm not missing anybody, because there's a lot of chats that just came in, so I kind of missed out on some. Cameron wants Bitcoin. Flynn said, I got in a US 30 sell before market open. I'm with you, Shawn. Yeah, definitely, Flynn. So I'm in for both of these right here. It's looking really good. All right, so I'm in profit like 500 something right now. So you guys can see my account right here. It's my live account for US for FTMO. I'm in profit 380 from one. I'm in profit 130 for the other, and it's just going up. So I'm in profit total. I'm about to hit TP on this one, so you can see that one turn green, 450. And I'm gonna let it just play out, guys. So I'll try to give you guys updates as we continue, but you guys can see how I scalped that really quick. Yeah, looks good so far. I got 2 positions staggered. This is the first one. It's about to hit full TP. We have another one right here running in profit. So looks good, looks good. Let me continue going with this right here. Yeah, so Lisa wants me to take a look at Euro USD. So Lisa, there we go, full TP soon. Good morning, Deswell. Yeah, I just went over this new strategy that I've been applying to scalping strategy for US 30. It's been pretty profitable for me. So I'm probably gonna teach the the more advanced K2 members how to do it. But overall, I think it's a pretty good strategy. MD's asking, do you also feel that the market is so slow since the mid-December? Sorta, MD. It was slow in December because, obviously the holidays, mid-December, it was holidays throughout that time. And then the first week of January was NFP. So that's why the market was quick. We made a ton of profits. And then it's just been slow overall because, everything else that's been going on throughout the world. But I think it's going to pick up soon. Air Suspension said 50 pips below the current price is beautiful long entry for Dow. That's perfect, and that's all I need, Air Suspension, because I have these shorts right here. So as long as we hit the 50 points down this way and I hit my full TP, we can go ahead and take that long. But I just need to make my profit for these two right here. But I mean, it's looking pretty good so far. I'll pull my MC4 again over here. I'm in profit about nearly $500. You guys saw me take these trades live. Well, you saw me take the second one, but I was already in the first one before I got on live. So I'm in profit about $500. I'm just waiting for them to hit full TP. Once they hit full TP, then we can take that that long position. That's all I'm waiting for right here. So we're about to hit that. And then I have a couple lists over here as well. Nice. City said just made $70 with you on US 30. I like the strategy. Yeah, definitely 100%. Dejan said a lot of people have been hesitant with what's going on with the US. Yeah, exactly. So people are hesitant. That's why the market's just been slow. Volatility has just been, hasn't picked up yet. And just a reminder, if you guys haven't already, if you guys can like the stream, that'll definitely help. I can keep on going live with you guys, and then you guys can catch these scalps with me, because obviously I can't call these as signals. They happen too fast, right? So if you guys want to make some money with me, just like the stream, and I'll continue to come on and show you guys these scalps. Oh, there we go. Full TP. Oh, yeah. So full TP on this one, made about $500 off that. So let me see if I can find this over here. Nice. All right, cool. So I got full TP off that one. So for this week so far, I'm in profit. I'm not in profit that much because we haven't been trading that much, obviously. I'll show you all my trades. So obviously I took a stupid trade on when I gave you guys that speculative trade the other day. So this is the new 100K account that I got for FTMO. I started 100K, made a small few scalps right here. This is how you can see I made all these little profits, 100, 300, 160. And then right here I had a loss because I took that stupid trade that I gave you guys, which I probably shouldn't have. The rest here, 600, 100, 300. And then this last trade that I just showed you, 500 in profit off the one that I just won. So this is the one that we were just looking at. I still have this one active right here, but the other one closed in full TP right there, 500 pips or 500 profit. So overall, I'm in profit about 755 for this week, which is not too bad. But I'm going to keep applying the strategy. This might be my main strategy now for scalping, which has been it's been pretty good. So full TP on that one. I still have this one that's technically active right now. So I'm just going to move this over right here so I can follow it. There we go. We in profit. So I just need a little bit of a drop, guys. Just need to drop down here, hit my full TP, and then we could be good to go with whatever else we're looking for. So you guys saw me take that trade live. Nice profit off it. Hopefully you guys locked in some profit off that too if you guys are following me. Looks like a couple of you guys did pretty good. Looks like City locked in $70. Looks like a couple other people here locked in about $100. Cameron said, let's go. I like that scalping strat. Definitely. It's really simple. It's not that difficult. Especially with the K2 indicators, it makes things a whole lot easier. So that's about it for those two right there. I'm still looking for an entry on GJ over here for that scalping strategy, but it doesn't look like it's going to come anytime soon. All right, cool. So I'm going to keep watching this over here. Keep watching both of these. I got this active over here, and then we will we'll go over it. Nice. Razul locked in 87 euros. Nice, Razul. So Razul said, Shawn, can you just talk us through the scalping strategy again, please? Yeah. So for example here, so nice. So Gage over here locked in 250. You're a monster. I scalped 250. Nice, man. Congrats, guys. Everyone's locking in some crazy profits this morning to start off. Skill Trade said, I think one of the more powerful aspects of the strat is the criteria that price has to bounce off the zone. That means price would have to break the zone and hit your already tight stop loss solid. Yeah, exactly. It's a pretty solid strategy. And I'll show you guys what I do when I identify this. Dejan said, I'm so angry, dog. The PS5 keeps going in stuck at the targets that's back home, but I'm too far from there. Damn, Joe, which target, man? I'm gonna go pick one up. I've been looking for a PS5 for a while. It's not because I want to play games. It's because I want to use it to keep in touch with my friends, because like everyone's kind of doing their own thing. So I just want the PS5 so I can get on that headset, you know, just talk trash with like all my college friends and stuff like that, because I haven't really kept in touch since I've been busy with K2. But anyways, guys, I'll show you guys the strategy a little later. Let me just I have a list here of things to review. Scalping strategy. All right, so I'm gonna go down the list right here. If I missed your question, just put your question again in the chat, guys, because I did see a lot of questions here, so I might have missed a couple. But we have one question from Indra for GU. We have gold for short scene. We have Bitcoin for Cameron, and then we have Euro USD for Lisa. So if you guys had any other questions and I didn't list them on that list right there, just put them in the chat and I can look it up for you guys. But right now we have GU, gold, Bitcoin, Euro USD, and then I'll review this this strategy with you guys as well as we move forward. Wow. Okay. I have another. So there's another entry forming right here. We have a rejection off the pivot. We also have the rejection off the zone as well. So I might enter another sell right here shortly. Let me check this out real quick. Make sure the all right, yeah, so it looks good. So if this closes, well, look at that. So if it closes below there, I'm going to enter another sell. We got about 8 minutes left on here. I'm going to try to analyze GU real quick for Indra before I come back and take this trade right here as well. So this looks pretty good. Gage, so I got a PS5 days after launch for $9.50 from some dude at a gas station from Facebook Marketplace. Supply and demand, exactly, bro. It's crazy. The people are like jacking up the price of the PS5s like crazy. Like, I don't need it that bad. I just want it just to hang out with my college friends and stuff. But that's crazy, $9.50. Like money isn't really a problem, but I wouldn't pay that much for something I'm not really going to use. Okay, so we got another one right here. Razul wants me to take a look at GBP NZD. And let's see if there's anything else here. Flynn said, can we take a look at Okay, so Flynn wants DAX 30. I'm going to sell right now since before market. All right, cool. So I'm going to take a look at that as well. Probably going to enter another short position right here if this closes. So I'm going to come back and take a look at this. I have about 7 minutes. So that's enough time for me to go analyze a pair real quick before, you know, we continue on. So let me go over here to GU real quick. GU for Indra. All right, so you guys know how I analyze the pairs here. So I'm going to take everything off the chart. There we go with the naked chart right there. I'm going to turn on the K2SRs. So first step is turn on the K2SRs so that we can identify these rejection points from here. So I'm going to draw my zones on the chart. There we go right there. Right there. Right there. And then we need some upper zones. We go on the 8-hour. Nothing there. Daily, nothing there. Weekly. There we go. So the zone's like way up here. So looking at GU right here, go back to the 4-hour, turn on the momentum indicator. All right. So for example, here we have a really strong bullish move. So we have a rejection from this point. Rejection right there. We have a buy signal right here. We have price break structure way up here. So at this point, you can take a long position right here, possibly late entry if you really wanted to. So yeah, for example, right here, we have this, and we have the next zone is like way up here. So you can technically take this position right now if you wanted to. You know, I might even call this as a late entry. So let me go take a look at the confluences real quick. So we got pound right here, USD. We want the pound to be strong, USD to be weak. All right, so this is actually a good trade. So I'm actually going to call this trade right now. Thanks for mentioning that, Andrew. I totally missed this trade. So I'm going to call the signal in the premium. Nice. Looks like the UK 100 position hit TP1 for 200 pips. Congrats to you guys who took it. Looks good for the most part. Let me check this out real quick. Buy stop. So it looks like we're hitting some pretty nice TPs this morning, guys. So it looks like we're finally swinging back last day of the trading week, I guess, with today being Thursday. And, you know, we don't really plan on taking many trades on Friday. But, you know, with this new scalping strategy, I might be taking some trades because it's been pretty good to me. So let me see this real quick. So you guys got to remember to use your exit strategy, okay guys, because the market's just crazy with the with Biden coming in. So I got that set up right there. There goes the entry. It's a pending order. It hasn't filled yet. Check this out real quick. All right, yeah. So it's a pending order. Hasn't filled yet. So I'm going to set an alert there for GU being filled. And then I'm going to set an alert for all the TP. So we got TP1 here. TP1 plus 25. $250. TP 100 pips. I gotta try the strategy out for these other pairs as well. That scalping strategy. All right, so we got full TP, 100 pips. So we got that all set up right there. Stop level right here. All right, so I got all my alerts set up, sent out the trade to you guys in the premium. So you guys, that's exactly how I trade, guys. I identified the trade. I identified a momentum swing upwards. This is basically like a break and retest. Price like broke structure, it's coming down to retest, and it's probably gonna shoot right back up, fill our order, go straight to TP. So that looks good for that one. Check this out, it's dropping right back. So I'm waiting for this candle to close right here. We got about 3 minutes. Once it closes, I'm gonna take another short position. But yeah, I mean, you guys saw how I analyzed GU right here. I analyzed it really quick within a few minutes. I was able to call a signal right away, and I'm going to take this trade as well. So that's pretty much it for this one over here. Hopefully that helps out, Indra. I did send out the signal in the premium. So if you want to see what I called there, that's what I called. And I do see it continuing upwards. So we'll see how this plays out. Wow, look at that. All right, so it's dropping back down just like we thought. It's dropping back down. Man, I should have just doubled up on my position when it was up here. I don't know why I didn't even think of that. It's all good. I mean, it looks good so far. But let's see. So the market opened right here at 630. I just want to see how far of a movement, like how far of a stretch we're going for. It's not that bad. It's about 1,500 pips downwards. Okay. So looking at my positions over here, it's looking pretty nice. Yeah, currently in profit, looking good. So I might add on another position as this continues down. So let me see. I got a sell pending right here. And it's been good. So I'm taking a standard lot per trade. So I'm making about 500 per trade, which is not that bad. Because if you take like 10 of these, there's a lot of money right there. 2 minutes left on this candle. So I'm probably going to wait for this to close real quick, guys, before I continue on further. So Indra, there goes GU for you on that last analysis. I called that buy. I also called for a late buy stop right here because we had a rejection, buy signal, breaking structure right here. And then I anticipate it to continue up further. It looks like it's about to fill right now. Should be filling shortly. Next up, we have gold over here for short scene. So I'm going to be taking a look at gold real quick as well. Let's move on to that. There's gold right there. So if you guys followed my analysis, this for the past couple of weeks now, I mentioned that it was going to, range this way. And then I mentioned not to take a trade unless price closes below here, because like you can see here, price came down. If you got lured into that, it ended up spiking up or closed above here, right? Because for example, here, if you took this trade, for a buy, it's trying to swing back down because it's just going to be ranging within this area and this area down here until it breaks into a new structured area on that side. Man, US 30 is like super bipolar today. It's literally bouncing around between here. I'm thinking about re-entering, but we'll see. Okay, so GU just filled, guys. You guys see the alert on my screen. I'm just waiting for this to close right here. I'm probably going to re-enter this position as it closes in the next 30 seconds now. So I'm just going to wait for it to close. Once it does close, I'm going to enter another short. And then it'll probably, it'll just anchor over my other position because they'll just they'll average out. Because I already have a full win. So I'm already in profit this morning, about 500, 700 bucks, I think. And then I'm just waiting for this one right here. So we got 10 seconds left on it. All right, fuck it. I just entered the position. I entered already. So I entered before it closed. Enter another short position right here. So I got two positions running currently. So let me just move this over real quick. I just need to adjust this. So my entry price was 31070. Pips. I'm just gonna set my stop loss TP. Looks good so far. Okay, so stop loss is 31120. My TP is 31020. All right, got it set up right there. I'm just gonna move back up to here. That's where I entered. So this one's actually higher than the other one. So this one already hit full TP. That's a winner. And then I got these two over here that are currently active right now. So I'll be watching it. Let me check the zones real quick to see if there's anything new here. It probably popped up at some point. No, looks like it rejected right off it. We had a rejection off the pivot and rejection off the zone, so that's good to go. I'm just gonna let it run from here. So I'm in another sell. Got two sells right here, one for full TP already. And I'm just gonna let these two run while I analyze these other pairs for you guys. So I got another one over here, gold for short scene. So I'm gonna be analyzing gold for you guys right here. Let me check real quick before I continue on the chat. All right, so I see a bunch of questions here in the chat. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to analyze gold first because I don't want to get too far behind on these questions. So I'm going to analyze gold and then I'm going to go back to the chat to answer your guys' questions. So let me go ahead and just zoom out from here, close everything up the chart. And there we go with the, our naked chart right here. So there's nothing on the chart. I'm going to turn on the K²SR indicator. And then I'm going to draw my rectangles. Or my zones to be more accurate. So I'm just drawing my zones on the chart right here. Technically, this could just be one big zone. Yeah, gold's moving kind of erratic, so I'm kind of just making these a little wider than usual. So let me just close the K²SR. We have our zones drawn up on the chart right here. Everything looks pretty decent. Next up, I'm going to turn on the K2 momentum indicator. All right, cool. So for example, here we have a bullish bias right here. Okay, so like my analysis from this week was that like we analyzed it from like way back here, back on the 11th. That was about a week or 2 weeks ago. I said that price was going to range from this point, which it did exactly that. And then I said it was going to bounce around. It's going to bounce up or it's going to bounce down. But I said not to take any trades until it closes below here or closes above here, because you don't want to get caught like in any of these fake outs, right? Obviously, like you're going to see price getting faked out and then spiking all around. And it's just a little risky for you to take trades right now. So I mean, gold is naturally a risky asset anyways. So I'm not surprised that, this has been whipsawing. But looking at this here from this perspective, so what I kind of see happening here is if price continues to push upwards, right here, we have a rejection from this point, right? It's a huge rejection off this structure right here. We have this, and then see we have this pending sell right here. So this is where it gets a little messy. So we have a rejection from that point. We have the buy signal right here. We have price break structure right here. Kind of what I see happening here is I see a break and retest. So I see price break structure right here. It's now retesting this structure right here. And then it's probably going to shoot right back up. So this is kind of what I see happening for gold right here. For one, the US dollar is weak. So like if you look at the dollar index right here, the dollar index is super weak, right? Look at this, it's just dropping. So the strength of the US dollar is just going downhill. It looks like after Biden became president, it just started dropping. Well, not just because of that, but also because of the stimulus. He's trying to give out all this money. Like, where's the money going to come from? It's coming from the Fed. And if they keep printing money, the US dollar is just going to get weaker and weaker, right? So that's why I see gold continuing up from this point. I'd probably wait for it to close. Or actually, what you can do here is you can put a buy stop. So you can put a buy stop where price broke over here for a late entry, so that once price does shoot up, it'll automatically fill your order, and then you can pretty much catch that right upwards, right? So that's kind of what I see happening over here for gold. But I would probably wait for it. You either put a buy stop there, or I would just wait for it to break a little higher and close in like a higher location, so that you could have a little better confirmation. So yeah, just keep that in mind for gold here, because I mean, a lot can happen from this point. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I would wait for that full confirmation, because there's really no guarantee that that's going to happen. It's that anything could happen at this point. Like, price can easily just break down from this point as well if it wants to, and then come back down into this range. But we really won't know that until something actually happens. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, I would have a bullish bias for this if it ends up getting to that point. So just keep that in mind. Let me go over real quick. So our buy signal might be coming for US 30 soon, or it might not. Who knows? What was he doing here? Oh, let me take this off. All right, yeah. So looking at US 30 over here, we're still looking. So for our daily entry, we're looking for a buy still. So that's one thing that we're looking for. But I mean, we'll see how this ends up, playing out from this point. Just trying to check the chat real quick to see if I'm missing anything. So yeah, that's pretty much it for gold right here. Obviously I have a bullish bias, but we would have to, wait to see how this ends up. Okay, so we need to get that buy signal right there. Or was it a pending buy? Let me see. Yeah, so if we do get a buy right here, obviously we're going to take this trade. This is going to be our daily entry. We have about 3 minutes left on this candle. So we'll see how this plays out. If it does close, and we'll take it. If not, then we'll hold off. But this should be good. All right. I mean, this kind of sucks because it goes against my scalps, but I'm still more focused on this big move here rather than the little scalps, because I can always just scalp. I could keep scalping in the other direction if I really wanted to. So we'll see if this closes. We got about 2 minutes left on this candle for this strategy right here, and then we'll take this trade if it ends up closing. If it doesn't, we'll just be waiting for the next one. So just gonna wait for it, and then we'll see how this plays out. We got 2 minutes left on the candle right here. Here, let me see. All right, we got about this right here. So we got about like less than 2 minutes. So I'm gonna wait on it before I analyze anything else, because I don't want to miss this trade if we end up taking it. So we got about a minute 30, minute 40 actually. We'll see if it ends up closing, because it might not. We still got about a minute 30 left, so I'm gonna hold off on this. Let me see if there's anything with this right here. Okay, I'm gonna go through the chat. So I already analyzed gold and analyzed GU for you guys, so that looks good. Let me see if there's any other questions here before we continue on. Let's see. FIFA or Dijon said it goes in stock about once or twice a week in different stores in Atlanta. It's pretty easy to get when they drop, because they drop in all the wealthy towns targets. Oh, nice. Yeah, so you could probably get it there easy. Over here in California, it's way different, bro. That like we're so there's so many people here where like literally when it drops, people get them right away. There's like no way to really catch it. And it's fine because I don't really need the PS5 that bad. Like I mentioned, I'm just using it to hang out with my college friends. It's not really I don't really play games like that. So let me see. We got about 30 seconds left on this candle. If this ends up closing, I'll be taking a long position over here. Let me get this ready on my. Lots. All right, guys, so we got about 16 seconds left on here. Let's get this ready over here. All right, so we got about 1 second. All right, I'm in the trade, guys. Oh my God, what the fuck's wrong with my MT4, dude? 50 lots. What the fuck? Why isn't my MC4 taking the trade? Man, this is why I hate MC4, guys. MC4, like, it works when it wants to, and then it doesn't work when it, in other cases. So let me, the fuck? Is my MC4 frozen? Is your guys' MT4 working? Looks like mine's frozen. All right, whatever. I'm gonna do it on my phone. All right, I'm in the trade. I don't know what's going on with MT4. It's annoying. I was doing that the other day too. So let me just call this trade real quick. All right, so we're in US 30 right now. I'm in it. I don't know if you guys are, but I'm in it. All right. So send this out real quick before people in the chat start complaining. When people in the chat start complaining that they didn't get in it, I mean, you gotta be quick, or you have to have the indicators to take it yourself. So we got that right there. Let me get my FTML parameters as well. So let me just change this up right here. Just gonna change these numbers. Let's see, 31113. 50. So I got this set up right there. Entry over there. Yeah, I can't wait for FTMO to fix these things so we can like go back to our normal stuff. All right, so I think this is it right here for US 30. All right, so I think we're good. So I got that set up right there. I'm gonna set up my alerts for US 30 so I can follow. I think this is full TP. Yeah, full TP 1500. Earn profit TP1 750. What else we got? Stop loss. All right, so it looks good so far for the most part. There we go. Pretty nice in profit. I'm in profit about 300 bucks right now on my account. So I took the trade. So I'm right here in profit about 300 bucks. You guys can see my MT4, 300, 330, 360, 390, 400. So I'm doing pretty good right now, about 500 in profit. That's pretty quick. Yeah, you guys can see my profits down here, about 500. So it's looking good so far. I'm gonna just leave that alone. Watch this real quick. All right, cool. So it looks like we're good to go. So I'm in the position. Everyone's in the position. I think we're good for the most part. All right. So I'm not going to forward it to the other chats because it would just be a late post. But yeah, everything's been sent here. So let me go ahead and take a look over here real quick before we continue. So let me go down this list real quick. So I'm gonna go through the chat. I went over gold and I went over GU already. I'm just gonna go down the chat to see if I missed anything, and I'm gonna add more questions to the list. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise I'm gonna go through all the questions we have here right now. So Lisa said, Shawn, can you show how you got the SR zones on US 30? So Lisa, to get the SR zones, you just turn on the K2 SR level. I mean, the indicator, and you have all the zones right here. So, if you wanted to draw your zones, you just draw your rectangles over them. But that's pretty much, how you would do it. or you don't even have to draw these. I only draw these because it helps with visualization, so I'm able to see it better. But you don't need to draw your own zones. Like if you're fine just looking at these self-made zones right here on the indicator, you can just leave that on. But for me, I find it a lot easier to actually have it open. So that's why I have it open on mine. Okay, nice. I might enter a second position here, guys, because if we do, so looking at my scalping strategy, it looks like it just reversed in the other direction. So in this case right here, I think it's going to push up pretty heavy. So let me just turn this off. Yeah, so we have the rejection off this point right here. I might enter a second position, a scalp position. So we have the rejection off the pivot right here, and then we have the zone right here as well. So if this closes, I might enter a second position here for a scalp to catch it, you know, for maybe a double, basically. It's a small scalp within. Yeah, so I'm going to be waiting for this to close in the next 4 minutes. I'm going to keep going down the chat because I did take a loss on the other scalp, the second scalp that I took over here. So I'm going to enter another scalp to cover that loss. And then it's just going to double up with this specific position because I'll have one position running in profit already, and then I'll have another scalp running as well. So I'll let this this play out right here. I'm probably going to double up my position right now. Actually, I'm going to enter another long position right here. Come down a little bit. All right, cool. It's all good. I already entered it. So I'm just going to set my parameters right here real quick. So I just want to go for a small scalp, 50 pips. It's my dog barking. Dude's growling over there. Okay, let me, wait, what the fuck? Oh my God. What the fuck happened? I'm confused, dude. Wait, what the fuck? Why did it do that? I was just in a long position and it just closed me out. I have enough margin. Man, FT1 was tripping, bro. Or unless it's MT4. I don't know what's going on with my MT4, but it's closed me out of my position for no reason. I don't think I got margin called. I don't know, whatever. This thing's, I'm like over MT4 because I don't know if it's just an MT4 issue because I know a lot of people had issues earlier this week, but 31148. All right, whatever. I'm just gonna set this up because I don't want to deal with it. I'm in profit on both of them. Yeah, modify that. Stop loss is gonna be 31198. All right, so my profit's looking pretty decent right now. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It closed me out of the position for whatever reason. So I just took like a small loss and like a $10 loss, but I don't know what happened. Like, how did I suffer loss on that one? Whatever. All right, we're good. So I'm in profit on both of them. I'm looking pretty good. I'm in profit about 600-700 right now because I have two positions. I have this one running and then I have a small scalp right here running as well, right? Entered like right here. So I'm currently in profit on both. So I'll probably lock in 500 off this trade, and then I'll lock in I'll lock in 2,250 off this one. I'll lock in 500 off this one because I entered right here. So when this one hits TP1, I'll make 1,125 on that one, and then I'll make 500 on this one. So I'll be in profit pretty nice. And I'm just gonna keep scalping it, you know. So as long as more entries keep showing up, I'll just keep scalping it. I think I do have my. Let me get my TP and stop loss set up for my other trade. Man, MT4 is being really annoying today. With you know, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to refresh this. I'm gonna re-log in. That's the problem with the max, because with the Mac, it's a little different. So if I show you guys my profits over here right now, I'm in profit 750. So like it's bouncing around right now, 700. So I'm currently floating profits about 800 right now. You guys can see on my live account for FTMO. But yeah, it looks good so far. 750 right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it in my TP and stop loss for the original position. So TP stop loss is going to be 30963. And then TP is going to be 31263. Oh shit. Okay, I'm in profit like 1,000 something. Check this out. Oh yeah, I'm in profit 1,025 right now. So you guys saw me take those trades live with you guys. It's crazy. It went from like 600 to now 700 to now 1,000. So it's looking good so far. Yeah, I'm letting it run for now. I set up all my TP, stop loss, all that stuff. So I should be good. I have 2 positions running right now. They're about 1,000 in profit. So if this ends up coming down again, I'm going to enter another buy. I'm just going to keep scaling it up. But other than that, okay, so let me just go through the chat real quick and see if there's anything else that we're looking for. And then we will continue. All right, so let's see. I think I answered your question for the zones, right, Lisa? Let me just make sure you didn't respond to that yet. So Lisa, if that didn't answer your question for the zones, go ahead and put something in the chat and I can go over it again. But basically the way that I drew those zones is I just turn on the K2SR indicator and then I just drew my zones over the zones, like wherever I wanted them to be. So if you want to look at that, I mean, it's pretty simple. But if you need more help with it, just put a question in the chat and I'll take a look at it again. But right now I'm going to keep going down the chat really quick, and then I'm going to continue on with the analysis here. So I'm going to go down the list for the questions. We have, man, I hate these scammers in the group, dude. We always have these scammers like posting their shitty Telegram groups. Oh, bro, you've been banned. Let's go. There we go. All right, so looking at this right here, we have Bitcoin for Cameron, we have Euro USD for Lisa, we have GBP NZD for Azul, and then we have DAX 30 for Flynn. So those are the 4 things we're going to look at, and then I'll go over the new scalping strategy as well that I just went over, because I see a couple of people asking about it that just joined in. So I'll go over that with you guys as well. Other than that, I think we're good. So let me continue on with these questions in the chat, and then we will move forward. So let's see. Nice. Okay, so Indra's already in profit. Looks good. Deshaun, you talk to your parents with that. Can't be cussing with my virgin ears. Ed said, can you explain the scalping strategy? So Ed, I'll take a look at that shortly as well. I have that at the bottom of the list. So I'm gonna scan for these. I'm gonna analyze these other pairs, and then we're gonna be looking at that shortly after. Skilltrade said, I can safely lose 600 plus today in my challenge, and I closed out EG in profit. So I'll be joining y'all in the next scalps. I might be able to clear my challenge with this. Thanks, Shawn. Yeah, definitely Skillstrade. Razul said, damn, US 30 swung up quick. Yeah, which it did. Let me see if there's anything else here before we continue. City said US 30 said, no, I'm not that sweet. What's your stop loss? So my stop loss for this one, City is, well, you're in the premium, right, City? You guys can see all my stop losses over here. The stop loss for that's going to be 31,064 for normal, and then for FTMO it's 30,963. Let me keep going down a little farther. Nazareth wants a NASDAQ analysis, so I'll add that to the list right here. So I see your question 2B money. So we got Nazareth and B money. We got NASDAQ 100. Let's see. So Peter says MT4 is working. Skillstrade said mine was frozen for a minute, but it's back. Yeah, mine's working again too. It's just, it had that little freeze up. Air suspension said, hey, Shawn, would you please make analysis for Bitcoin? Yeah, definitely. I'll be looking at that next. Jay said, they don't want to see us winning. Yeah, exactly. Right, bro. Skillstrade said, that happened to me once in AU, and I couldn't figure out why. It definitely wasn't margin called. Yeah, it's weird how that happens sometimes, right? John said, trying to be like Shawn by the end of the year. Exactly, bro. We're gonna get that. You still want that Hellcat? Dude, I was looking at this video where this dude like crashed his Hellcat right after he got it. I think you probably saw it on WorldStar. Let's see if there's anything else here. Lisa said, zones just look like spaghetti when I do it. You probably have to zoom out, Lisa. So if you, or you have to go in the higher time frame. So if you turn this on here, so I turn this off and then you zoom out, it'll be easier for you to identify like where these zones are. Cause you can see that the zones usually come in a little area. Like this is one zone, this is one zone, this is one zone, this is one zone. And obviously if they're really close to each other, you can connect them together. But if not, you can just separate them. Most of the time you can just connect them into one big zone to make a cleaner one. You won't have like those little, those, what'd you call it? Spaghetti on the chart when you end up having them too close. So that's why I draw my separate zones on the chart on top of the original zones. So let me continue going on over here real quick. Varun, can you explain in detail about the scalping strategy? So Varun, I'll probably go over that later at the end of the other questions. So let me see if there's anything else here before we move forward. Yeah, Rizal says, anyone having connection issues? I think I am. I think everyone is. It's just, I think it's overall, it's just widespread. City said that was old in regards to the sell scalps. Yeah, exactly. Flynn said FTMO server definitely feels like it's lagging today. Strange. Yeah, so I think everyone's having connection issues today, guys. So I don't think it's just me or just you guys. I think everyone is in general. So Dejan said, I would cry if I crashed a Hellcat fresh off the lot. Yeah, bro. Man. Some people just aren't meant to drive those kind of cars, right? So, okay. So next question is Bitcoin. So let me pull up Bitcoin real quick. I'm going to move over to that down here. We got Bitcoin. So I'm gonna zoom out from this point. I'm gonna turn everything off from here, turn on the K2SRs, and then I'm gonna draw my zones on the chart for you guys. So we got a zone down here. We got a zone right here. All right, we got that right there. That right there. We got these two over here. All right, so I got my zones drawn up here for Bitcoin. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the momentum indicator now. So we have all this set up right here. I'm gonna zoom out from this point. We have these zones set up. I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator right here. So the thing with Bitcoin is that it doesn't really, I mean, it's starting to respect these structures like now. It hasn't respected it in the past. Obviously you can see here, price just like breaks through structures and it just keeps continuing on, right? So I guess like since November, it started to respect it slightly, like towards December, actually. December, it started to respect these structures. And then after that, and here we're getting a scammer over here. Oh, never mind, it's not a scammer. I always get these messages. Nice, Adam over here, he got these in 2 minutes. He's trading Boom Index. Nice. Thought it was another person sending their little thing. So if you guys are asking questions in Telegram, I'm probably not going to get to you right away. I'm just going to mark this as unread. I'll respond to you, Jose, in a little bit. But I'll pull back on that later. Anyways, going back to Bitcoin over here, you guys can see that generally it doesn't really respect structure, right? It just kind of does what it wants as it moves along. And then more recently, it started to respect structure. Like this is the first time in a long time I've seen it retest the same structure 3 times. Like usually it'll test structure once and then just keep pushing up. You guys can see right here, it usually tests, it breaks, then retests, and then it shoots back up, right? For here, Bitcoin is it's in an area where it's actually moving kind of similar to Forex pairs or any other assets that we follow. It's pretty clear here. As you can see, price kind of shoots up and it shoots down and it shoots up, and it literally is respecting these zones pretty nicely. So using that to analyze this, which is new for Bitcoin, because normally it doesn't do this. Right here, we have like 3 big rejection areas, right? So like right here, we have a big rejection area right there. We have another one right here, and then we have a third one right here currently. If this ends up rejecting off this point and we get a nice wick, then we would probably get a buy signal somewhere above here. And then this would probably continue up. So there's like a couple of scenarios that can play out for Bitcoin right here. You know, Bitcoin can either break through here and continue down further, or Bitcoin can reject off this point, push up to here, possibly provide a buy signal, kind of similar to what happened over here. So I'm just going back to like stuff that's already happened before. Basically right here, price came down, came up, retested, and then it shot all the way up, right? So that's kind of what I see happening here. Price could come up, retest, and then shoot up from that point. But we don't really know. Like, we have to wait to see how this closes. This closes in about soon, actually. So this 4-hour candle for Bitcoin closes in about 19 minutes. When this closes right here, we can kind of picture what's going to happen next, because if it closes with a wick, like basically with it wicking out of this, kind of similar to what happened here. So here's an example of when it closed within it. So when it closed within it, it continued dropping slightly more, right? For example, here, when it wicked out, you can see the wick with no body within the structure. When it wicks out, it just pushes right back up. You know, it's a nice rejection, kind of similar to right here. It wicked out and then nice rejection back upwards. However, if it closes within it, like it did right here, it can easily come down and test this structure down here before either shooting up or before dropping down further. And this is new for Bitcoin. Like I mentioned, guys, this is something that, you know, we haven't really had the opportunity to analyze Bitcoin for, because it usually doesn't respect structure. So if it doesn't respect structure, it usually just keeps breaking through structure and pushing up higher and higher, right? So just looking at Bitcoin right here, right now, I guess in the next 18 minutes, we can determine, you know, whether it's going to drop further or if it's going to reject off this point, because that's a lot of time for this candle to close. But just keep that in mind. If we end up seeing a nice wick off of this structure, like kind of similar to what happened right here, we can anticipate some bullish pressure pushing price right back up. However, if price closes below with the body within the structure, then this could possibly, you know, continue in this direction slightly before it either shoots back up or shoots back down. So those are a couple of things to keep in mind. But, you know, like with Bitcoin, like I mentioned, it's a speculative asset. It could literally do anything. So if someone wants to dump the market, whoever has a lot of Bitcoin, they can dump the market. If they want to push it up, or if, you know, they have a lot of momentum, people buying Bitcoin and increasing its value, then that could happen too. But just looking at it here, I would wait for this candle to close. And then once it does close, you guys can make a determination, you know, whether you decide to sell it or to buy it. I personally would just buy and hold, because this is like a dip spot anyways. Basically, when I buy Bitcoin, I wait for price to break structure and I wait for it to retest. So like, for example, here, I wait for price to break, comes back down, I enter a buy right here and I just hold it. Again, right here, price comes up, test its structure for a retest, then I just buy it and I hold it. Same situation right here, it comes down to test the structure, buy it and hold it. Same right here, buy it and hold it. But the difference with analyzing Bitcoin now versus how we were analyzing it over here. So this is different. We never saw price really respect structure like this. This is probably the first time it respected structure like that. And then it ended up moving like, you know, normal assets, where it comes up, retests off structure, and it comes back down, and then it retests off structure right here, comes back up, and it's moving like Forex pairs, right? It's kind of just coming around and ranging. So like for this right here, I personally would probably just buy and hold, because I think it's going to go back up anyways. You can literally just buy and hold it, and then it might take a couple months, maybe a couple years if it continues to drop, but it'll end up coming back up eventually. But if, you know, if you're actively trading it, then you would just have to wait to see how this closes and see how the market reacts to this point. So this is pretty much what I would be waiting for Bitcoin here. So that's it for that one. Let me see if there's anything else over here as we continue on forward. Let me see. Okay, I see you guys having like side convos in the chat, which is cool. So that's it for Bitcoin right there. You know, maybe we'll take a look at it in the next, I guess like maybe in the next 15 minutes or so, to see what happens when it closes, because it can probably like that'll give the hint whether it's going to shoot back up or if it's going to drop down even further. So we'll just have to wait and see how this candle closes off this off this structure right here. So that's it for that one right there. Let me move on to the next question. So the next question is Euro USD for Lisa. So this is it for Bitcoin right here. Let me go over to Euro USD. So we got Euro USD over here. I'm going to close this. I'm just going to close this for a loss. Not really worth holding on to. So I took a loss off Euro USD. I mean, it probably could have came down, but I'm not going to hold on to it. The reason for that is because we also took I think we took a buy position, right, for something for GU. Yeah, so we technically have a buy for GU, so I didn't want to go against that trade. So I closed out my EU over here. But going back to EU over here, let's see, I'm going to close this. That's still active. Let's looking at this right here. Yeah. So I'm just checking on a few things before I move forward. All right. B Money, no, you didn't miss Naz. I didn't go over it yet. So here's what I have on the list, guys. So if you guys have any other questions, put them in the chat so I can add you guys to the list. Right now we have Euro USD for Lisa. We have GN for Razul. We have DAX 30 for Flynn. And then we have NASDAQ 100 for Nazareth and B Money. So we got those two running right now. And if you guys have any other questions, just put them in the chat and then I can analyze them for you. So looking at EU right here, I'm going to delete this. I'm just going to delete these old alerts because we're not in this position anymore. And 1 second, guys, I'm going to open up my window. All right, so I'm going to analyze Euro USD right here for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out from this point. I'm going to draw my zones for you guys. All right, so here we got our zones. I'm going to go ahead and draw these on the chart. That right there. That right there. All right, cool. So we're good with that right there. Let me go ahead and turn on the momentum indicator. So we got that right there. I'm gonna zoom out from this point. I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator and analyze this from here. All right, cool. So looking at Euro USD right here, we had a rejection off this point right here. Nice rejection. Let's make this smaller. Oops. Zoom out a little bit. Maybe if I, all right. So right here, we have a, try to grab this tool. We have a rejection from this point right here. We had a buy signal, it broke structure. So whenever we have a rejection, a buy signal that breaks structure, it usually pushes up to the next structure right here, right? That's what it did. And then it rejected off this point right here. And then we had another rejection from this point right here, right? So price broke, retest right here. And then now we're just waiting for price to break structure again. So if price right here breaks and closes past this structure right here, like around this area, then we could possibly take a long position and then ride this up further from here as it continues to push up even further and further. But in order for us to take this position, we'd want price to break and close past here. Like for example, here we had a rejection, a buy signal, it broke structure right there, and then it ended up pushing up to here, right? That's exactly what I see happening over here as well. It's the same thing that happened right here too. So at this area right here, price broke structure. It's the same pattern. It just repeats itself. So right here, we had a rejection, buy signal, broke structure, pushed up to here, retest, broke structure again, pushed up to here. Once it breaks structure again, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to push up to this structure as well. And then if it breaks above here, then it'll continue up further and further and further. So that's kind of what I see happening right here. On top of that, I'll look at the index. So we have the euro index right here, and then we have the dollar index. Where's it at? over here. So looking at this right here, the euro is strong. Obviously, it's a nice bullish candle right there, and the dollar is weak. It has a strong bearish candle right here, right? So with that said, if the euro is strong and the dollar is weak, this will indicate that price is going to continue up further, right? Because if price is going up, that's going to indicate that the first currency is stronger than the second currency. And when price is going down, that means that the second currency is stronger than the first currency. So for example here, since we look at the currencies by itself, this is the euro index, this is the euro currency, and this is the dollar currency right here. So this indicates that the euro is strong. This indicates that the dollar is weak. So using this confluence right here with our pair right here for euro USD, that's going to hint that price is going to continue up further. So that's going to give extra confirmation that this is probably going to push up from this point, break above the structure, and then you can take a long position, ride this up. You guys get it? So it's really simple, guys. Like, a lot of people like to overcomplicate trading, but in reality, you know, it's like a step-by-step process. It's not that difficult. And you guys can see here that, you know, the patterns always repeat itself. It's nothing new here. Like, for example, here, we have a rejection from this point over here. We have a buy signal right here. We have price break structure right here. It's the same exact pattern, right? Rejection, buy signal, break structure. What happens from there? It pushes up to the next structure and then pushes up to the next structure and pushes up even further. Vice versa, if you wanted to take it in the other direction, it's the same thing here. We have, you know, we have a rejection from here. We have a sell signal from here. We have price break structure right there, and it does the same thing in the opposite direction. So if you guys have the K2 indicators, this, you know, it's literally a no-brainer. It's so easy to take these trades, and you just pretty much do the same thing over and over again, and, you know, collect profits for the most part. So looking at your USD right here, this is pretty much what I see happening. I think it's possibly going to continue pushing up, but, you know, it's just going to be a matter of time until this plays out. So other than that, let me move on to the next one. So that's it for Euro USD right there. Next up, we have GBP NZD for Razul. So GBP NZD. This is one that I was thinking about taking, Razul. Good thing I didn't, because look, it would have reversed on us, right? I didn't call this trade. I was thinking about it, but I knew the market was moving weird. Thankfully, I didn't call it because this reversed super hard right here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete everything off the chart. Do the same thing I just did with EU. Same exact analysis. It works for everything. Doesn't matter if it's Forex, indices, commodities, gold, silver, platinum, anything really. We have a naked chart here. I'm going to turn on the momentum. The zones, the K2SR zones right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw these zones on the chart for you guys. So these right here, we will probably connect this big one right here. This could probably just be one big zone. All right, so just looking at GN right here, we have a bunch of big zones right here. So you can see here that obviously price is respecting these zones pretty nicely. You can see price broke into structure, went sideways, came down, came back up, went sideways, came down. And it's literally just, it's been ranging between these two areas, right? So price will be ranging right here. It breaks below, comes back, ranges. So this is a huge range area right here. This is just basically the range, this area right here. From this zone to basically this zone down here, but the main range is right here. So whenever it breaks out of the range, it just comes right back to this middle, right? Price comes up, breaks above, comes back down, ranges, goes down, comes back up, ranges, comes down, comes back up, and then now it's ranging within the zone again. So it's currently within the zone, just ranging. I'm going to turn on the momentum indicator right here. We have a bullish signal that's currently pending, looks like, for GN right here. So let me turn this on right here. So for example, I was just going to show you guys what I was looking at. We have the rejection point from there. We have the possible buy signal right there. So if it closes above the structure up here, then we could possibly, you know, catch that right upwards. But yeah, I mean, I think GN is kind of a risky pair to trade, because obviously right here, there's a lot of fake outs, right? Or maybe there's a zone up here that we just haven't looked at. Let me go ahead and go on the higher time frames, because maybe there's an upper zone here that we just don't have. Yeah, obviously, see, like, here we go. We have the zone right there. And then we have a zone right here. So this is why it's kind of you got to be careful with trading these right here, because it didn't just randomly push up to a random area and reject, right? It actually rejected off a zone on the higher time frame. So if I zoom out from this point again, there we have a much cleaner look, right? So even if price breaks above this zone right here, it's probably going to be a risky trade to take because it can reject off this point or it can reject off this point. So you guys can see here, now that I went on the 8-hour time frame, we have this zone right here, and it's like established like a double top of some sort. So just looking at this right here, let me just pull this up again. The momentum indicator. Yeah, looking at this again right here. So at this point over here, we have a sell signal. This is the bias right now. So the bias is technically a sell signal right now, right? Until we get a buy signal, we're only gonna be looking for sells. So in reality right here, we would want to, here, let's see. But so this is where it's iffy because we have this pending buy right here, right? This candle closes in about 2 hours. So it can either close with the buy signal or it can close without it. If it closes without it, this is going to be scenario number one. Scenario number one is it closes without it, and we will just continue to, or we can make a late entry for this sell right here, right? Because price never really came down. This is the bias right now because this hasn't closed yet. So right here we have a rejection. Right here we have a sell signal. It also broke structure. So we can possibly take a short position right here down to this structure over here, right? So this is probably going to be our move if we want to enter this right here because this hasn't closed yet. So scenario number one is price comes back down and then it hits TP down there, right? That's scenario number one. Scenario number two is if this buy signal right here closes, then we have a rejection from this point. We have technically a buy signal here if it closes. And then if it breaks above the structure and closes, then we could possibly anticipate it to, continue up even further to this next structure above here. So that's another scenario that can play out. But the thing with this, with this GN right here is that it can go either way because technically the sell position is technically still active if you decided to take that one. However, this movement here has been kind of unusual, especially because I think there was news last night. Let me check. Yeah, there was news. There was a lot of news yesterday into the night, and then we had news this morning for EU and for USD. So with that said right there, obviously this is probably going to affect, well, it for sure would affect the NZD. I don't know about the GBP, but actually it would because it's Euro news. So this, like the news probably affected it right here where price came down, and then the news happened right here at about, what time did it happen? 4:45 a.m. So about 4:45 a.m. around here, that's when it started to push up in this direction. So this might be based off the news. So what we could possibly see happening here is this could be a temporary push up where this can end up pushing right back down once, it starts to correct. So this is kind of what I see happening here for GN. I would still have a sell bias right here. Let me check the index for it. So we have the pound here, and then we have the NZD right here. So the pound is strong. Well, I mean, they're both kind of strong right now. It looks like they're both moving sort of in the same direction. So this makes it even more of a reason not to take this trade. I think this is why I didn't take it, because they were both bullish at the time when I looked at the candles. And with that said, if they're both bullish, it's probably just going to go sideways until one gets weaker than the other. So it looks like the NZD might be weaker. So if that happens and the GBP stays strong, then it'll push up further. But if it ends up going the other direction, then it could end up reversing from here and coming back down. So I personally would just stay away from GN right now until you have a better confirmation, because even if you do get this buy signal right here, if I turn on the K2SRs, there's a ton of zones right here, right? So the thing is, this can reject at any point. It can reject from here, it can reject from here, it can reject from here. It really doesn't matter where it rejects from. It's still within a zoned area. So I would keep that in mind for GN. I would either wait for it to, if it closes with the buy signal, I'd wait for it to close above here. Or if it ends up closing without the signal and then it ends up coming back down, you can always enter a sell stop order right here, so that as it comes back down, it'll fill your order, right? So there's a couple other other like situations that can play out here, and I wouldn't just jump into it. I would wait for that confirmation before you take this trade. All right, so I think that's about it. Let me see if there's anything else to look at real quick. So Razul, there's your GN. It's an iffy trade right now. I personally wouldn't take it until you have that further confirmation. All right, so that's it for GN. Let me go down the chat real quick, see if I missed anything else. Let's see, Josh said, morning everyone, just checking, are we riding US 30 to full TP? That would make it a new all-time high. Not sure if Shawn answered that early. I'm just getting on now. So yeah, Josh, we're still holding on to US 30 over here. I think it could be fine. So like looking at it over here, it yeah, let me go back to the 1 hour. Let me see where the all-time high is. Wait, it broke the all-time high yesterday, right? Yeah, actually, so the all-time high would be right here. Yeah, I don't see why not. I think it could break right through it. I mean, obviously it's ranging right now within these two zones, but I personally think it could break right through it. So I would hang on to it. Let me see if there's anything else here we can take. Yeah, nothing from this point. And I'm tempted to enter another buy and then just pretty much ride this thing up further. Here, let me check this real quick. I'm just gonna be looking for something right here. Let me see how far is this. All right, cool. So I got this set up right here. So I enter another scalp, guys. And the scalping shit's it's addicting, dude. Let me see. 311. 31128. Just want to get these numbers right here real quick. I'm gonna set up my stop loss CP 31078. 31178. Cool. So my positions are averaging out. I entered another scalp right here, guys. I'm literally just scalping this throughout. So I entered another scalp right here. Yeah, all my positions are averaging out now. So I'm in profit pretty nice. I should have closed out my positions earlier because I was in profit sorry guys. I was in profit like 1,000 something earlier, like 1,200, because I had the two scalps and then I had the full position running, and here we go with that bullish move right there. So it looks good. Yeah, I just entered that scalp right there, and then I'm going to continue on with this as you move on forward. Hey Mark, what's up? Mark made it to the chat. I haven't seen Mark in a while. Yeah, so if you guys haven't already, if you guys can like the stream and subscribe to the YouTube channel, that'd be great. That way I can continue to come on this live with you guys and give you guys these trades pretty much for free, because you could literally be in this chat and and not be part of K2. Like, I'm here to help everyone, guys. You guys don't have to be part of K2, but obviously if you're part of K2, you guys will have like individualized help from me. So if you guys are pulling some value from this stream, go ahead and like the stream so we can continue to come on here for free for you guys every morning. Just so we can hang out and take these trades, make some money. And yeah, that's that. So that's it for those trades that I just looked at right there. Next on our list is the DAX. Let me see if there's anything else here to look at before I continue forward. CT said, have you ever looked at correlation between yen and Bitcoin as a risk sentiment? Not really. So let me go to the yen. Yeah, so I'll pull up the yen real quick. I guess we go to Bitcoin. I don't know if Bitcoin has an index or if it has like, so CT, do you use it as an opposite correlation or do you use it as like a similar one? I'm trying to think how you use it. because right here we have the yen going strong. We have the Bitcoin going, or I guess you could use it as opposite correlation, right? Because the yen's a safe haven currency. So if you have the yen going up, obviously Bitcoin would go down, and then, you know, vice versa in the other direction. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Mark said, I'm scared about calling the scalps. Yeah, no, definitely, Mark. Like for me, I just put in the scalps and then I just call them out. I don't call any actual signals. It's like impossible for you guys to call like scalp signals because they they move too fast. Let me go back to the question. Hey Forbes, how's it going, bro? I haven't seen you here in a while. Let's see, Forbes is in here. He just made it. Berlin said smash that like button for the scalping strategy, guys. Yeah, definitely. I'll try to show you guys a scalping strategy that I just discussed. It's really good with US 30 and with GJ. So I showed you guys earlier this morning. I made a ton of profit off those two. And I'll just show you guys like how I play that out. And let me see if there's anything else here that I need to look at before we continue on forward, because we have a couple questions left. And then lastly, I'm going to go over the new scalping strategy that I've been pretty much just working on behind the scenes. That's why I've been pretty busy. I haven't been really too active in the chats because I've just been making a bunch of profit doing that. Let me see if there's anything else here as we continue. Dejan said, nah, but in all seriousness, I'm about to turn 1,500 into 20,000 with K2 options and indices. Yeah, no, definitely, Dejan, you can make a ton with options. You know, Samir's been killing it, guys. I don't know if you guys have been following the options chat, but Samir's just been, he's on point with killing it. Actually, let me check my options real quick because he gave me a hint off some options, and I want to make sure that that it's playing out. So let me check this real quick. Go over to my Webull. I think all of us are in that Zoom one, right? The Zoom call. So my expiration's on the 29th. I'll probably have to roll this over to the next month. It's technically not there yet. We're trying to have Zoom hit 500. It's currently at 377. Yeah, it's sort of negative right now. If you guys have talked to Samir, there's a lot of stuff that's you know underlying that specific asset with regard to them joining the S&P. So if they're joining the S&P, I'll probably shoot up. That's probably why we're taking those calls. And I'm not sure when they're supposed to join the S&P. They're probably going to join within the next couple weeks or so, or maybe next month. Hey, where's your boy? It's not my boy, bro. That's your boy. Hey, dude's looking at the other one. Let's see. CT said similar flight from dollar. Look at UJ. So looking at UJ over here. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so CT kind of looks at UJ and Bitcoin side by side to see, you know, the direction of price, I guess. And this looks like what's going on with US 30? It looks like it's dumping right now. Well, it's not dumping, but I just wonder what's causing it to drop like that. Let me see if there's any news real quick, guys, before we continue. I'm just kind of curious why is price dropping like that for US 30? It might be a temporary drop. It's nothing too crazy probably, but still curious what's going on. Beyond Brexit, doesn't look like there's any news right now. It's just some unusual movement for US 30 this morning. I mean, Biden signed in. I mean, it might be Biden because he's signing in all these new executive orders and stuff. So I know he did that pipeline thing yesterday, which obviously affected the market. What else is he implementing? Yeah, it just seems like he's implementing a lot of stuff. Not too sure. I mean, it doesn't really matter to us because we're still gonna trade, make profit either way that he pushes price. But I'm just curious, like, what's he doing that's causing the price to move like that? Pull up US 30 real quick. Yeah, it's probably gonna retest the structure right here and then swing back up. Not too worried about it. So I'll let that be. And then I'm gonna go ahead and answer the rest of the questions here. So I'm not even gonna bother looking at US 30 because obviously it's gonna keep whipsawing around here, but I think overall it's gonna be bullish. So there's no news that's really causing it. I looked at CNBC right here. There's no news here that just came out like within the previous like 20 minutes. And then same with Forex Factory right here. There's not really much that's happened within the past 20 minutes, and nothing here is, dealing with, what's that noise? Oh, we have a signal for US 30. Okay. I was like, what's that noise? Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll continue on with these questions, and then I'll keep analyzing, everything else as we move along. So let's see. First off, we have damn, David, see what you did? Victor said, why Ron? Yeah, no, he's only joking. He's not being serious with that call. Let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, that's what I said, Cameron, too. US 30 just started dropping all of a sudden, but there's nothing that's really pushing at this point. Yeah, this thing's spiking down pretty heavy. I don't know what's going on with it. Let me check this out over here. Yeah, I mean, it's not that far. It's literally just right there. It's probably gonna reject off the structure and then come back up. But I don't know what's causing the price to really come down like that. Usually there's something that's happening, but I just checked CNBC. There's nothing there. I checked this over here as well. Nothing there as well. But Mark did mention that there's 71% of people that are short. So I don't know if they're just luring in people right now. They might be luring in some short sellers. They just want to lure some people in. So what's probably going to happen is they'll just push price down slightly, and then all of a sudden it'll just spike up really quick. So I'm gonna leave it alone, and then we'll just keep checking on it. So that's it for US 30 right now. Let me move forward with this, and then we will continue on. All right, so Josh said gonna reject off the 30-minute. Yeah, B-Money, I'm gonna check out NASDAQ right now. Yeah, exactly, Mark, that's you. So people are like hopping into the shorts for US 30, but I think it's gonna bounce back. I don't think they're gonna push it down that far. Let me add this other one to the list right here. Cassie wants me to take a look at Euro Odd. So we got Euro Odd right here. All right, so we got 3 questions. We got DAX 30 for Flynn. We got NASDAQ 100 for Nazareth and B-Money. And then we have Euro Odd for Cassian. So I'm going to take a look at those right now. And then we'll continue on with our analysis. So let me go ahead and take a look at this over here. And then we'll move forward with that. So let me check this out over here. DAX 30. DAX 30, which is right over, where's the DAX at? Oh, there we go, German index. So we got the German index right here, DAX 30. I'm gonna go down to the 10-minute, or I'll go down to the 1 hour, draw my zones first. All right, so looking at this right here, damn, US 30 is dropping pretty heavy right now. I don't know what's going on with US 30. I don't know if they're on a stop loss hunt or if they're just, I don't know if something's happening with US 30, but let me see if there's any other zones down here real quick. So, I mean, there's a bunch of zones here. So there's a lot of areas for price to really reject from. I don't really know what's causing these spikes right here. All right, so price is still currently at this first support, but if it does drop further, there's like 3 supports right here that it can reject off. So we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out from this point. But I think overall it'll still continue pushing up. So I'm gonna stop looking at US 30 right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the DAX. So the DAX right here, I'm looking at this for Flynn. So we got the DAX right here. Why is that right there? We got that lined up. I'm gonna go on the 10-minute. Turn this off. So it looks like price is just ranging within this area right here right now. So price is currently within here. We have a bullish signal right here, but price hasn't really broken structure. So for example, right here, we had a rejection. We have a bullish signal right here, but then it rejected off it. So in order for us to take this trade right here, I mean, price is just ranging within this area, but in order for us to really take, any position for DAX, we would need price to break above here. So using this for an example, so let me just zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what I mean by this. So the same pattern that I've been looking at from like everything else that we've been analyzing. For example, right here, we have the rejection from this point. We have the sell signal right here, and then price came down and tested structure right here, right? So that's kind of what happened right here with this one. Vice versa, we have a rejection off this point right here. And then we have a buy signal over here. So in order for us to take this trade, we need it to break the structure up here. So once it breaks and closes past this structure, then we can take a long position for DAX. However, until that happens, price can easily just range within this area. Or if we get a sell signal, say if we get a sell signal right here, then we would have a rejection off this point. See that sell signal is pending right there. Sell signal right there, and then price will probably come back down and do exactly what I've just been discussing. So like right here, like I mentioned, price is just ranging within this area. So it's pretty much just going to be bouncing, back and forth between here until price breaks above and closes above here, or price breaks below and closes below here. So there's two scenarios here that can play out. Either price will continue pushing up and break above this structure right here, or the sell signal closes and then it ends up pushing down back here. So it's just ranging right now. But obviously you can see, for example, here, whenever price breaks structure, it just continues on higher. So like for this right here, we have a rejection off this point, a buy signal right there, and then it pushes up to this structure right here, right? And then same situation right here in the opposite direction. We have a rejection from this point. We have a sell signal right here. It also breaks structure, so it's a 2-for-1. And then it ends up testing the structure right here, right? So it's the same thing, but like we mentioned, we're just waiting for it to break above or below the structure. So it's currently ranging within here. If this ends up closing above here, you can take a buy. Vice versa, if we have a sell signal, we can probably take it down to here. So that's pretty much it for the DAX. Let's move on to the next one. We have NASDAQ for Nazareth and B Money. Let's see, we can go over here. Flynn said, I was in a sell for DAX. It moved well, but then stopped me at a break even. Yeah, I mean, because like I mentioned, Flynn, it's just ranging. So if your stop loss is too close, and since it's in a range, it could easily just like bounce back and forth. So that's probably why it hit your break even. It looks like you were in that sell. So if you enter the sell up here, I can see what happened. You probably entered a sell here on the signal right here. And then unless you entered up here. So if you're applying the, the strategy, the London session strategy, you could have entered this sell right here, because London opened right here at midnight. You could have taken the sell and then pretty much write it down to here. But yeah, if you took that sell right there, you probably got in profit right here, and then it swung back up and stopped you out at break even, because it's just ranging right now. So if you want to re-enter that sell, I mean, you can, but I would probably just wait for it to break above it, or provide that sell signal where you can take the sell, just to be safe. Let's see. Short Scene said, what percentage of account you risk on scalping? I mean, when you're scalping, I'm only risking a really small percentage, like less than 1%, not really that much, because for the big position, I'm still taking a full 3% off this. So I got to have enough to cover this position plus, whatever else I decide to take as well as it, continues forward. So we'll see. It looks like US 30 is just going to be ranging for a bit. And then probably like around 10, it'll probably shoot up or shoot down from that point. So we'll see how this ends up playing out. But I'm not really gonna bother looking at it because it's just gonna keep bouncing back and forth. It's kind of risky to scalp during times like this when the market's kind of just whipsawing, because it's crazy. Like you can see here, price was just going kind of slow, and then all of a sudden it started whipsawing. Every candle was like 500 pips, right? Even this one right here. Yeah, there's that bullish candle right there. It's probably going to reject right off the structure because you can see the wick rejected off the structure right here. It didn't necessarily close below it. So it's probably going to swing right back up at this point. So I think that's it for that. I looked at the DAX, so we're done with that as well. Next up, we have NASDAQ. So let me pull up the NASDAQ real quick, and then we can continue on. So we got the NASDAQ right here. Here, let me check something real quick before I look at this stuff over here. Sorry, I'm going through my emails, guys. I have if you guys emailed me and I haven't responded to you, it's fine. I'm gonna get back to you eventually. It's just I have 70 emails right now to get to, so I don't really have time to look at them while I'm on the live session. All right, so I think we're good with this. Let me go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ real quick for you guys. Yeah, guys, I have a ton of emails and a ton of Telegram messages. So if I haven't gotten back to you, don't worry, I'll get back to you eventually. I just don't have time to respond to you right now. So we're good with that. Let me go ahead and take a look at NASDAQ. So we got the NASDAQ right here. I'm gonna take everything off the chart. I'm gonna go on the 1 hour so I can draw my zones. Zoom out from this point. Let's run the K2SRs. Man, price is so high for NASDAQ right now. I mean, honestly, these zones right here are kind of relevant because price is so far. So let me just draw these. I'll just draw big zones down here because it's not really necessary for us to focus on these because price is so high that there's not really going to be. I didn't realize the NASDAQ pushed up so high like that. Let's see, I got that right there. Yeah, these zones right here are kind of relevant because we're not expecting price to come down all the way down here, right? So we're just drawing these zones here, but they're not really important at this time. Let me just check this real quick. How far is it from there? So price is way up here. Yeah, that's way too much. It's like $300 off. So let me go back to the 10-minute. Actually, it's going to 30 minutes, kind of messy. All right, so we have one zone right here. Just trying to find what the upper zone is for NASDAQ. So we got price currently right here. All right, cool. So looking at price right now, it looks like it's just ranging for the NASDAQ. It's pushed up so far from the 19th. It's only been a couple of days, but it had a crazy bullish movement from, you see this right here. We have a crazy movement from since January 17, it just had a crazy bullish movement. You guys can see that huge spike right there, right? Well, not really spike, but it was a big, huge move up. So looking at the NASDAQ right here, it's currently at resistance. I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator. Let me check CNBC real quick as well. So yeah, today all of the indices are pretty much up. The Dow's up 6.6% or 0.06%, S&P's 0.13%, and NASDAQ is up 0.52%, which is pretty huge. So right here we have a bullish signal. I would wait for this to actually close above before I end up taking anything here though. So for example, here we have the rejection from this point. It's the same strategy I've been going over for pretty much everything I've been analyzing. Rejection, buy signal, we want price now to close above this structure. Once it closes above here, then this will probably shoot up from that point, right? So that's probably what's going to happen here for the NASDAQ. But you know, who knows? We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. But yeah, just looking at NASDAQ right here, obviously it's strong bullish, but I think it's at an all-time high. You know, let me go ahead and see if it's been at this point ever before. No, so yeah, NASDAQ is at an all-time high. So that's why it's important that you wait for price to break that structure right there. Because once it breaks that structure, it'll establish a new all-time high, right? Because the all-time high is right here at 13,406, and price is currently, yeah, it went slightly above it. So the all-time high is at about 13,407. And if price breaks this structure and closes above it, then we could probably anticipate it to you know, obviously push up even higher. But until then, I would hold off on it because you're going to find some resistance at this point right here. So for the NASDAQ, I don't really see much of it pushing just yet. I would have to wait for that confirmation where it closes above, because the last thing you want to do is enter a long position right here and then it ends up reversing on you, right? Which could possibly happen because it's at that all-time high point. But yeah, I mean, overall, everything is bullish. So that's probably going to happen. You know, the Dow J is bullish, the S&P is bullish, the NASDAQ is bullish. The only thing that's negative right now is the Russell 2000, but I think that was bullish yesterday. On top of that, the VIX is also bullish as well. So for this right here, I would probably wait for this to close above the structure. Once it closes above the structure, then we could probably anticipate it to you know, shoot up even further. So that's basically what I see happening here for the NASDAQ. Until then, I would just hold off on it. I wouldn't just enter just to enter, because this can easily, you know, backfire on you really quickly. So that's it for NASDAQ. The last one we got is KCN for Euro Odd. So let me pull up Euro Odd real quick. All right, so I got Euro Odd right here. I'm going to go on the 4-hour, fix my charts, delete everything off the chart. And there we go. We have some naked chart right here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the K2SR. Draw my zones up for you guys. So right here as well. This one right there as well. So I'm just going to draw a big zone up here, because a lot of these zones are, you know, like I mentioned, they're relevant because price is so low that we're probably not going to reach that point. So if we do reach that point, I'll go ahead and redraw those zones, but right now it's just not necessary. All right, looking at this right here. So we got that right there. I'm going to hide the K2SRs. I'm going to zoom out from this point. And yeah, just looking at Euro Odd right here, this is basically what we have set up. Basically, I'm going to turn on the momentum indicator. Oops, wrong one. There we go. So right here, we currently have a buy signal. And it looks like the Euro Odd is just it's in a range right now currently. So basically it looks like it's just going sideways within this area. It looks like it reaches levels and then goes into consolidation. So like, for example, here, it looks like it does it every time. So price goes from a range, shoots down from this point, range down here, shoots down from this point, another range right here, shoots down from this point, and then another range right here, right? It's just in a range right now. So Euro Odd is basically in a range. So I would possibly wait for, like, I wouldn't enter a trade right now. I would wait for it to break above or below the structure in order for you to catch, you know, that bullish or bearish move. So like price is currently ranging right now, and I would wait for it to either close above here or close below here before you take you know, a trade, obviously. So, but if you want to trade within the range right here, I think you could probably take a buy, because if you look at the patterns right here, see, like, for example, we had a rejection off that point, a sell signal. It's the same strategy I keep going over with you guys. It's the same thing I do for everything. Breaking structure right there. Let me make this a little smaller. It's kind of hard to see. All right. So for example, right here, we have the rejection. We have the sell signal. We have the, break in structure right there. So rejection, sell signal, break in structure, and then it goes down to this structure right here, right? Right here we have a, signals keep coming up. Right here we have a rejection off this point. We have a buy signal right here. And then from this point, it just pushes up to, this structure up here, right? So same thing again. Rejection off that point. We have the sell signal right there. And then it pushes down to this point. So you guys can see where I'm going with this, right? It's the same pattern that just keeps repeating itself. Again, right here, we have the rejection from this point. We have a buy signal. And then, what's probably going to happen is price will probably go up from this point. And just repeat what happened right here. Rejection, buy signal, push up to the structure. Rejection, buy signal, push up to the structure. But me personally, I don't really like to trade like this because I don't like to trade ranging assets, obviously. So for me, I would personally wait for it to break out of this range because I want to take positions that are actually moving. Like for example, here we have this buy signal. I'd want this to push up from this point and then possibly break above here. And then I would take a buy position from this point over here. Vice versa, if this doesn't end up pushing up that far and then it ends up swinging back down with a sell signal right here, then I would take a short position from right here. Because like I mentioned, if you look at the previous data for your odd, it usually has a burst of momentum in a direction and then it consolidates. So like for right here, you could have taken the sell, consolidates, you've taken another sell right here. As it breaks structure, you can pretty much just ride this all the way down until it ends up going back into consolidation. Because like literally here, you can see this pair just consolidates, right? If you take every bullish move or bearish move, it breaks structure. Like right here, you can take that move down here. It consolidates, bearish move, consolidates, bullish move, consolidates, bearish move, consolidation, bearish, consolidation, bearish as well. So there's a lot of different, scenarios that can play out here for Euro odd. But I personally would want to wait for it to actually close before I end up taking any position from that point. So that's kind of what I see happening from here. But like I mentioned, I don't like trading ranging assets, so I'd probably wait for this to either close below or above the structure. So that's pretty much it for that right there. Let me see if there's any other questions before we continue on. Razul said, seems as though I will fail FTMO challenge double on US 30 and when complete against the buy. I'm not going to lose it, but I'll be in heavy drawdown. Razul still has 1K buffer, but not looking good. Yeah, guys. So like, here's the thing, guys. If you guys don't have much buffer, you guys shouldn't be taking these risky trades, right? You guys shouldn't be scalping. You guys should just be sticking to the main trade. Because if you guys stuck to the main trade, you guys wouldn't be risking so much. But I mean, take this as a lesson. If you guys can't be trading risky, especially if you're still on your challenge, and you just aren't applying it right. Because the problem with a lot of people is they want to overtrade. They want to take every single trade that they see. And my advice has always been the same. My advice has always been to just take the daily US 30 entry, right? So if you guys just follow that, you guys should be fine because you guys would understand the risk. I don't even know if did we have any losses for US 30? Let me see. So if I go back and I look at US 30, for the past, I don't know, couple weeks or so. So if we go back to our data here for US 30, because that's literally all I take on my FTMO. I just take the daily US 30 trades. So like, for example, here we had 2 losses on that one, and then we had 1 win. So we had 1 full TP for US 30, and then we had 2 losses last week. So that would only put you in 1 loss negative. And then if you go back to, let me see what else over here. Here, let me search something else over here. So January week 1. So if I go back to the results over here for January week 1. Okay, like, yeah, for example here. So if you just, did what I always advise to you guys, if you took just the US 30 trades, you'd have 1, 2, 3 full TPs. So technically you'd have 3 full TPs, 1 from last week. So that's 5 full TPs and then just 2 losses. So if you were to do that, which is about 1,500 times, I guess 5 wins minus 2, 1,500 minus 1,500, you would have 4,500 in profit right now. So you shouldn't be in drawdown if you decided to take that. But yeah, I mean, you guys have to be able to manage your risk properly. Usually if people fail FTMO, it's because they're taking too much risk, or they're just taking, they're taking too many trades, which equals pretty much too much risk, right? The main key with FTMO is just managing your risk and taking the proper trades. But if you guys, my advice is always going to be the same. If people ask me, what do I take on FTMO? I just take the US 30 trade. And I've been doing pretty fine for like the past, I don't know, when did I start FTMO? In June? So I've been doing fine for like 6 months now. So just keep that in mind, guys, because I do know people here are taking too many trades. They're taking Forex trades. I always tell you not to take the Forex trades. You're taking these scalping trades, which are speculative trades, right? Because I already had these wins from like the past couple of days. So these, like, the way that the market's moving today is crazy. Like, check this out right here. This is like dumping like heavy. So that's why I understand the risk when I take these trades, but it looks like it's about to possibly reject off this structure right here. Let me see if there's anything lower below that. The next structure is like way down here. So that's pretty much as far as it'll go. Before that, and then we will continue on with this one. Yeah, this is dropping like super heavy. I'm trying to figure out what's causing the US 30 to drop so heavy. There isn't really much news going on, but I mean, obviously something. Trump's outgoing antitrust officer explains government's push against big tech. See, the only thing that I see here that's happened within within the previous hour is just Trump news, basically. And a lot of these updates that Biden is putting through. Because I don't know what's really causing this drop. Because this drop, let's see. So since market opened over here, it's dropped like 13. I mean, I guess it's not that much. It seems like a big drop, but it's not really that much. It's 1,300 pips. But just looking at this, I'm not sure what's really causing all this. Like, we have Biden to sign 10 executive orders. So, I mean, obviously he implemented all this stuff. We have this other Trump news right here regarding his antitrust officer. We have Trump has no legal team or strategy for Capitol Hill riot. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what's causing the price to drop like that. There isn't really anything specific that's really causing price. It's just dropping. Let me turn off these pivots right here. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has any other news here that that could, basically, if you guys know anything that's causing this drop, maybe you guys can give some input. But I've looked at all my news sources here, Forex Factory. I've looked at CNBC. There's nothing here that's really indicating a drop in price aside from Biden signing these executive orders. This is like the main thing that I can see pushing it, but it looks like everything just started to drop all of a sudden. The Dow Jones dropped, now in the negative. S&P also dropped, and the NASDAQ is also dropping as well. Let me see. I mean, it's probably just weird market movement from, actually, it's not dropping that much. Actually, it's kind of dropping. So It looks like all of the indices just like had like a tumble right now. I don't know what's causing the tumble, but it looks like it's widespread. And this happens. I mean, you know, you can't really predict what's going to happen next. There could be random spikes like this that happen throughout the market. But here we go with that nice wick. Hopefully this nice wick just ends up swinging all the way back up. Because I'm not sure what caused that drop. I don't know if it was just a bunch of people shorting the market. Let's see. So it's weird because there's less shorts now, right? People are switching from short to long. Oh, because they probably got stopped out. So what happened here was people probably entered some short positions and then it spiked up and then they got stopped out. I mean, market sentiment is still 69% of people are short. I guess people are just betting that price is going to drop because it's at the all-time high. So it seems like people are just they're just trying to sell off for the most part. But let me see what happened over in the chat. Oh, Varun said, problem is I took the challenge last week and we had, oh, okay, I see what you mean, Varun. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. You got in at a bad time. Because I thought you started at the beginning of the month, Varun. Yeah, if you started your challenge at the beginning of the month, we had, I think we had 4 or 5 back-to-back wins, right, for US 30. So this always happens. Like if you guys aren't familiar with like how the market moves, like we'll have hot streaks or we have like 7 or 8 back-to-back wins for US 30. And then all of a sudden we have like a little rough patch. But there's a lot of things that are affecting the market. Obviously, Biden is now the president, so he's implementing new laws that will affect the market. Obviously, he's joining new agreements and stuff like that. So it's going to affect the market. It's just we just don't know how it's going to affect it, whether it's good or bad. Because I know there's people making money in either direction, but there's really much. There's not too much to really gauge from that point. Yeah, I'm just hoping it recovers back up because I'm still in this trade as well. So I need this to recover back up so that we can bounce back. Other than that, I think that's it for the questions right now. Let me see if there's any other questions that we have before we continue, moving forward. So let me go back to this 4-hour chart over here. Let me just pull up GU real quick because we were looking at GU earlier. All right, so our GU right here is also pulling back right now. It looks like the entire market is kind of just all over the place, guys. So we're probably going to be careful for the rest of the week because I don't know, everything has just kind of been not moving smoothly. Like even looking at the AUD pairs over here, generally these like move in the same direction, but they're kind of all over the place. I mean, similar with like the Euro pairs over here. See, they're all, it's like these are bullish and then this is bearish. This is bearish. This is bearish as well. Like a lot of these pairs that normally correlate in the same direction, they're not all correlating how they normally do. I'm not sure if it's because of different policies being implemented or just because the market's just moving unusually. Peter said it's dropping because all the companies realize their taxes are about to increase a lot. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that can affect the market, obviously, right? There's a lot of policies that are being implemented, but overall, the market just is kind of all over the place this week. NZD USD. Did we take NZD USD? I forgot if we took this or not. Oh yeah, we did. It hit TP already. Okay, so we still have this running. Let me just set an alert for this full TP over here because I don't have an alert set up just yet. Full TP plus 35. All right, so that's it for NZD USD, USD CAD. I'm just scanning through these guys because you guys can see here that there's a lot of pairs that are just reversing right now, right? Like right here, USD CAD, it's obviously like dropping and then it had a huge bullish candle right here, kind of similar with NZD USD. It was bullish and then it had a huge bearish candle right there. So I mean, obviously there's something that's going on in the market that's causing price to spike in one direction or the other. I just can't pinpoint what it is. The only thing I could think of is, Biden implementing these new mandates and stuff like that. Other than that, market's kind of going haywire right now. So we might be very careful with that. We might have to be very careful with our positions because we don't want to get caught in any of these fake outs. Like a lot of these could have a temporary movement in one direction, kind of similar to like what's happening here, like a temporary move in one direction, and then it ends up spiking right back up, depending on, you know, what's affecting at this time. But I don't think we have any specific news events that are going on right now. Calendar. Yeah, the last news was at 5:30. It was the unemployment claims. The unemployment was it was a lot less than the previous one, the weekly unemployment claims. So we'll have to just see how this ends up affecting our positions. I mean, obviously it's affecting our US 30 right here, like heavy. I need this to swing back up already. But other than that, I mean, we'll see how everything else plays out. So I think that's it for here right now. Let me see if there's anything else before we continue. Flynn said I overtrade and over leverage. That's why I keep losing FTMO. Yeah, I mean, that happens, Flynn. You know, you're as long as you're learning from those losses and mistakes, like so you don't make them the next time, then that's perfectly fine. But usually that's generally what happens when people end up failing the FTMO. They just end up taking too many trades, or they end up over leveraging, or they end up doing like too much at once. Because I've seen one guy in the chat, this dude takes like 30 trades a day, and I'm like, dude, that's a lot of risk, because you know, the more trades you take, the more odds that you'll have losing trades. So just got to keep that in mind. Let's see if there's anything else over here. CT said in order to go up, it has to come down. Stocks are probably pricing buys lower. Yeah, possibly. That could be happening, CT. Yeah, impulse correction, impulse. Exactly. That's kind of what I see happening right here. That's kind of why I see this probably coming down here, rejecting off this point, and then shooting right back up. So I'm just going to leave that alone. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else. Hamizan said, hi, Shawn. I done Mace 50 tonight. Okay, nice. Cool. Perfect, Hamizan. Kel said more taxes just means make more money. Yeah, exactly, Kel. It's got to keep pushing, you know. Can't let the taxes stop you right there. But okay, so I think that's it for all the questions right here. I think I looked at Euro Odd already, right? For Kostya. Let me check real quick. Yeah, so I did look at Euro Odd right here for Kostya, and I was mentioning that I was anticipating it to possibly drop, and then we can take that sell, or it can possibly push up to here before dropping back down. So take that. Other than that, I think that's about it. So lessing, and the ones that I was taking this morning as well. It's a super simple strategy. I mainly use it for US 30, and oh, what's some BS right there? Like, it literally triggered stop loss, and then it came back up. It's all good. All right, so looking at this right here. Wait, what happened there? I don't know how it triggered my stop loss when I had the trade still running. All right, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go ahead and delete everything off the chart. And then I'll show you guys what I mean by the scalping strategy. So I'm not gonna go too into detail. So the reason for that is because I don't want you guys to just be hopping in on this trade and then taking, like, you know, crazy trades, because like you see me do this once and then you guys think you're a pro trader and that you guys can apply it. Because that's what happens with a lot of people. A lot of people just end up taking these trades, like these new strategies that I show, and then they end up taking a lot of losses because they're not doing it properly. So this strategy, I'm not going to release it to you guys just yet. I'm just going to give you guys a little sneak peek of how it works. And it's super simple. So basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a wick rejection off the pivots. So like, for example, here we have a wick rejection with no body within the pivots. We have like, it's a strong rejection. And I also want to confirm that the rejection is off a zone as well. So like I mentioned right here, we have a zone right there. I'm going to hide that off the screen, and then I'm going to go ahead and replay it over here. So it doesn't matter whether it's a bullish or bearish candle. All we need is a rejection off the pivots right here with no body touching the pivots. It's just the wick. So we have a nice wick rejection right there. And for the second confluence, we have a rejection off the K² SR level right here, right? So once we have that, I usually take a long position in the direction of the trend. And then I only go for like a 500 pip scalp. So like, for example, here, if I was to take this trade, it would have hit TP right there, right? Full TP. So that would be one scalp right there. I think there's another scalp right here as well. So that's one scalp. There's another one right here. So you could have taken two positions. Like you can see that I was taking multiple positions for my scalps. For example, right here, we have the rejection off the pivots. It's also rejecting off the K² SR level again right there. So there's another scalp for another 500 pips right there, right? So obviously this hits full TP as well. So full TP right there. And then lastly, there's another entry right here. So there's three back-to-back scalp entries right there where you can just set and forget it. So like right here, another wick off the pivots and then a wick off the zones as well right there. So I would have taken another scalp right there for 500 pips. And obviously all three would have hit. That'd be a total of 1,500 pips from that point. So that would have been a nice win right there. I'll show you a couple other examples. Let me just delete this like scammer off their chat. Benjamin Proctor. You couldn't come up with a more creative name. All right, so that's about it for that right there. Let me go back to this video over here again. So that's like one example right there. I'll show you an example in the opposite direction. Maybe I could find a sell or price rejects off it. So like maybe we have one over here. I'm gonna turn on the K² SRs. All right, so like for example here, we have another one. We have a zone right here. And then we have a rejection right there. So at this point right here, actually there's like a bunch of entries right here. For this point right here, we could have this one right here actually. So at this point, we have a nice wick rejection off the K2 pivots, and then we have a rejection off the zone as well. So we have a double confluence right there. I would enter a short position right here at the close of that candle for about 500 pips. And then it ends up hitting full TP. So there's like one inch, there's a couple entries right here. There's like a bunch of scalps where you can just stack them on. So we have one right there for 500. We have another one right here, this green candle where it wicks off the pivots and it wicks off the structure. So we have that right there, another 500 pips. So that's 1,000 pips right there. Another one right here, it wicks off the pivots. It also wicks off the structure. There's another sell right there for, it doesn't look like it hit just yet. Let's see if it hits eventually. So this one would have hit stop loss, or I mean, if you closed early, it would have stopped out. So for example here, if you took this position, and this third one right here, you'd have 2 wins and 1 loss. So you'd still be in net positive profit, right? At that point, you would just take a break. Or I mean, you could keep taking more positions. Like for example, right here, you could possibly take this one if you wanted. But if I was to take 2 wins and 1 loss, I would just take a break because obviously that's how you scalp. You know, once your edge dies out, then you take a break from it. So for example, there, that's a win right there. Let me see if there's another one that I can find over here as well. Trying to find where price wicked. Okay, for right here. So right here, for example, it's kind of close. Let me see. Okay, so it didn't. The body was in this green pivot over here, but on this yellow one, it's just a wick. So let me see if there's a zone in this area. Oh, wrong one. Let me check this off. All right, so for example, right here, we have this rejection off that zone. So right here, we have this wick rejection off the pivot. We also have the wick rejection off the zone. The body's outside of the pivot. So at this point, you can enter a long position right here for 500 pips. And then we let it run. And then it ends up hitting full TP right there before it drops, right? Full TP right there, easy as that. So that's one win right there. Looks like we have another one right here. Actually, this body's within the pivot, so we'd ignore that. And I think that's about it. Let me see if there's another zone that's around this area. Actually, this is a whole zoned area right here. So if you wanted to take another position right here, you could have. So for example, right here, this would have been a win. We would ignore this one because it's within the pivot area right there. We have a rejection right here. So this green candle right here rejected off the pivot, the yellow pivot, and then it rejected off the zone. So you can enter another long position right here for 500 pips. So another full TP right there, 500 pips. You guys can see that. I think there might be another one right here as well. Like even this green one, even this red one right here. So you can see this red candle that's right next to it. It's another entry right there because it wicked off the green candle. I mean the green pivot, and it also wicked off the zone right there as well. So like right here again, another long position right here at this low for another 500 pips. There you go, full TP again. So you have 3 full TPs right there. That's already 1,500 pips. Again, right over here. So there's another red one right there. So you can see there's another red one right here. So that's 4 wins right there, actually. If you were to just keep stacking these on, like you can take low risk on these and just keep stacking up these wins, obviously. So right there again, another full TP. And then this one right here, one last one. So we have another long position right here. I don't know if this would hit. So this one would have hit stop loss actually. So for this right here, if you took every entry that appeared, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd have 2,000 pips in profit and then 1 loss for 500 pips. So you'd have 1,500 pips in profit if you took all these scalps right here. So it's super simple, super easy. You just need the K2 pivots indicator and the K2SR indicator. That's going to be like the most important thing. So that's it for scalping this on US 30. Let me show you guys how I scalp it on GJ. So that's pretty much it for that one. Let me go ahead and rewind this over here. And I'll show you guys how I apply it on GJ because it's the same thing. It's super simple, except for US 30, I do it on the 10-minute, but for GJ, I do it on the 30-minute. So let me check the chat real quick and see what else is being asked over here. Turby said 10-minute. Yeah, 10-minute for the US 30. Cameron said, are you marking the zones on the 10-minute? Yeah, 10-minute on the US 30, 30-minute for the GJ. So I'll show you guys another example here for GJ basically. Let me see if there's one over here where we had the rejection from this point. So, all right, let me turn on these zones real quick. Yeah, so there's no zones up there. The nearest zone is right here. So I'll use this for example right here. So right here, we have, yeah, right here actually. So for example right here, all right, let me move to the next one. Okay, so this is the example right here. For GJ, it's the same exact thing. We have a rejection off the pivot right here, and we have a rejection off the zone. So with that said, we take a long position right here. We let this run for about 32 pips, and it hits full TP right there, right? Super simple, same exact strategy. So that's a win right there for GJ, 32 pips. Let me see if there's any other zones over here that I can possibly draw from. So the next zone would be, I'm trying to identify a point here. So this was in the structure. So, I mean, it's within the pivot, so I wouldn't count. All right, so this is one example right here. So I draw a zone right here so that you guys can see it. I'll delete this one up here and I'll take this off the chart. So looking at GJ right here, we have the rejection. So you see this wick right here. If I zoom in, you can see this wick rejected off the pivots. Actually, these are all entries right here. There's a bunch of entries right here as well. So let me see this real quick. Actually, there's a whole bunch. So we have one right here. So this is for GJ. We have one right here. This would have been a short position. The reason for that is because we have, actually, let me, I can move this up a little higher. Yeah, like 35 pips. So like, for example, here for GJ, we have a price reject off the pivot right here, and it's also rejecting off the zone. So from this point, we take the short position, and then we end up hitting full TP right there, right? So this is a full TP. And then there's another one right here. Where's it at? Yeah, another one right here. It rejects off the zone as well. So we have a rejection off the pivot. We have a rejection off the zone. Another short position right here for about, I guess, like 30 pips, or we could do 25. So again, right there, another entry right there, full TP. And then there's a whole bunch here that you can enter. And the cool thing with this is that this is on the 30 minutes, so it's not as demanding. You don't have to be on the screen like crazy. And then again, right here, we have a rejection off the zone right here. So we have one entry, another entry right here. That'd be another full TP for about 28 pips. And then another one next to it right here that I went over earlier. This would be another, I don't know, 28 pips. And then you skip these right here because their body's within the pivots. So skip this, skip this, skip this, and then skip these right here because they're not rejecting off the zone right here, right? So for GJ right here, if we scalp these 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 times 30, you could have locked in like 120 pips with these scalps right here for GJ. And this is pretty much the only ones that I've been really testing it on. I've been testing it on GJ and testing it on US 30 because I'm just trying to figure out like 2 assets that I really like to trade. And I'm just going to focus on those with these scalps because you don't have to scalp like literally everything. You can just scalp certain things that move a certain way. And then again, for like another example right here, right? We have another rejection point from right here. We have price rejecting off the zones and there's a whole bunch that you can take here, right? It's not just like one position. There's like another one here, 40 pips, another one next to it, that red one, another 40 pips, another one right here next to it, another 40 pips there as well. So 3 back-to-back wins right here, obviously, and then like 1, 2, 3, 4 back-to-back wins right there. You know, it's really nice scalping opportunities right there where you can make a ton of profit. So I think that's about it, guys. So I think that's it for all the questions here. If you guys have any other questions, I'm probably going to log off because I have a ton of questions to get through today. I have like 70 emails to read, and then I have 6 Telegram messages right here as well to respond to. So if you guys have any other questions, you know, feel free to reach out on Telegram or email me. We still have our US 30 position running right here. And that's pretty much it for right now. Other than that, I think we're just going to sit tight. I'm probably going to hold off on these Forex calls, guys, because the market's just moving crazy. Let me just go ahead and analyze this real quick. I'm just going to see if there's anything that we can possibly look at or take or have an eye on as we enter the next candle close. But I think this is it. David said, go do Thirsty Thursday and get a michelada or something. Yeah, bro, definitely. I got that stuff in my fridge. I'm going to make one. Maybe not right now, though. I'm going to go to the gym first, and then I'll figure it out. But yeah, other than that, guys, the market's it's just not great right now. The market's just all over the place. So I'd be careful with any positions, and we'll probably hold off on entering any like new Forex positions for a while, maybe until like Asia session, or maybe we'll just close it out for the week because this week has just been, it's just been all over the place. So I think that's about it, guys. If you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, if you guys can just like the stream on your way out, that definitely would help, you know, help us continue to grow this channel. And then hopefully I'll keep calling some more scalp calls for you guys sometime next week once the market's kind of stabilized a bit. I think we can make a ton of money profiting just scalping together online live. And then maybe I'll just turn this into a scalping session, right? So I can just give you guys scalping trades while I take them real time. So I think that's about it, guys. Thanks for showing up. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the chat. So I'll see you guys later.